Hey guys, welcome back to Dislyte. In today's video, I wanted to talk free-to-play and Fafnir, give you guys a little bit of a guide on it as such. Now, keep in mind, my team is not 100% successful yet. I'm still experimenting. It's about 60 to 70% successful, which I'm pretty happy with. Also, the runs are really slow at around 5 to 6 minutes, and I've been experimenting with different relic sets and all that. Keep in mind, four of my units are still 5-star level 50, and I've got fairly average relics. I'll go through all the relics and show you guys that, but if you look at my relics when I show them and you think they're really good, you're probably not at the stage of doing Fafnir yet. The key thing in Fafnir is having lots and lots of speed, because the only downfall with Fafnir is when he gets his shield and you don't break it on time and he one-shots a unit. That's the biggest issue that I have with Fafnir, and that's what you're trying to avoid. Now, when we look at my team, I've tried many different things. I've tried using Medusa for the speed lead. Keeping in mind, I'm trying to use only farmable units. Who else have I tried? I actually did a clear with Apollo because he has the multi-hits, but what you really want to aim for is wind units. The thing with non-wind, wind units against Fafnir, because he is flow, he glances more on them or misses more, meaning he's less reliable to land the debuffs. I tried Meredith, I tried Medusa. Who else did I try? Yeah, I tried a few different things. I tried Changpu for immunity. And you know, I've had a bit of experiment. This is the team that I came to that has the highest success for me. And basically what we're looking at is Hal is amazing. Hal or Hall, I don't know how you say it, but he is amazing for it. So what happens is, we'll go through the basics of Fafnir right now. So in the strategy guide, you'll see it, but basically Fafnir has multiple health pools. Whichever unit breaks one of his health pools will get frozen, and then Fafnir will gain a shield. And that shield has stacks. You have to hit him that amount of times to break the shield, and if you don't and he gets his turn, then he's going to basically one-shot the ally that is frozen. So you really need a lot of multi-hits because you want to break that shield. Now, on top of that, his normal attack is an AoE that has a chance to slow and stun your units, which is really painful. Then we have the 2 crystals. This one does AoE damage and puts disease for 2 turns, meaning you can't be healed. But if you kill it, he gets an undispellable permanent attack buff. The other crystal dispels all of his debuffs and grants you with immunity for 2 turns. But if you kill it, he gains an undispellable speed buff. So the crystals are really annoying because you look at them and you go, okay, just kill them. But if you kill them, he gets buffed. Now, through my testing with some teams, even this team, I'm trying to find out which has more success, going left crystal, then boss, or just boss. With this team, if I actually kill the left crystal first, you can survive the damage that he deals with that attack buff. The problem for me with killing the right crystal is, yes, he can't get immunity, but he's got a permanent speed buff, so you have to keep 100% uptime of speed slow just to go even with him, when, you know, you don't really need any of the other debuffs, in my opinion. So, you know, that's sort of what I look at with that. You can kill left crystal first. I have seen people try the right crystal first as well, but in my opinion, left crystal would be the only real annoying one. So essentially, you've got some debuffs that you want to avoid with immunity or cleansing. You want multi-hits. You need someone to deal some damage, and that's the main core behind it. So what we'll do is we'll actually go into, I'll click multi-battle so we can exit out and show you some of the units during the waves. But what we'll look at here is my units and their gear sets. Now, over here, we got Tang Yun. Now, Tang Yun, I'm experimenting here. I'm putting him on this set, on the Astral Witchcraft, because if your units do get stunned by the AoE, you really want them to get their turns as fast as possible and hopefully lap Fafnir to get the multi-hits in. So I'm experimenting with this. Now it's attack because I didn't have great ones. I've also got him on speed because I want everyone to be fast. I had experimented with him at slow speed, with this being an attack slot, and we did do like a 60% win. We won 6 out of 10. So I'm trying the speed next, but that is him. He's not very well geared. Next up, we have Gab. Now, Gab, I like on Ocean Waves. I've got a really fast Ocean Wave set, which works really well on her. We've got speed there with 16 speed. This is my fastest speed relic. I stripped my Dahlia for it. So she's on 100 plus 111 on Ocean Waves. She's probably the best geared in the team. Then, actually, she's pretty good too. So Lynn, I had originally on a full speed set with Windwalker and tanky stats. that was when I was getting like 6 to 7 out of 10. I'm trying her now on damage because I found some of my losses I was losing because the final health bar of the boss, I would lose someone because, you know, they keep losing more health along the way. And then I just didn't have the damage to clear up. So I'm trying her with damage as well. Also, it'll speed it up a bit. Then we have Hal. Hal's just on a fast tanky set. Literally nothing there. He's just there to get bonus attacks. Something really cool about him is when an ally actually hits Fafnir and knocks Fafnir below, Fafnir will freeze them, and after Fafnir gains the shield, Hal will then do his additional attack with his passive, so it's really nice. The one catch is that if old mate here, Tang Yun, knocks Fafnir below the health limit with one of his pursuits, then Hal will actually attack Fafnir before he freezes, and then Hal will be the one that gets frozen. There's like no logic sense behind Fafnir and Hal. It doesn't make sense. And then Bernice over here, she's just on really fast with Revenge. Ideally, you'd want everyone in your team on Sword Avatara. I've just had zero luck. This is the only speed Sword Avatara I've pulled, and I did a lot of farming. So unfortunately, you'd want them all on Sword Avatara would be ideal, but you just want her fast with high HP, and that's pretty much the gist there. So what we might do now is we're going to jump across and we're going to have a look at this run. So we're on Fafnir. As you can see, we've got him down to 2 health bars left. So the team is working not too bad. Now in this one, he's got two stacks left. And there we go. We've crushed that stack. Now he's going to attack. Hopefully we survive and we should be pretty fine to keep moving from here. Now, this run here, I'm attempting, like I said, I had been testing killing the left crystal first. I'm trying to get the runs a little bit faster because it was tedious. So we are trying attacking the boss straight up. But then you do get to this situation where your Tang Yun and stuff can get quite low due to the fact that sometimes the heal block timing, like here, so we got heal blocked on 2 of our units. Hal might actually die in this run due to that. Look at that. We got 2 units stunned. This is like ideally what you definitely do not want. Now we're about to break it and we've got everyone stunned. Which is definitely less than ideal. So we're heal blocked again. So we're going to get the shield here. And this is why I kind of prefer killing the left crystal first, because you can survive the damage with the defense buff and with the shields, and then you can stay topped off with the heal. But in this situation, you're kind of... And there you go. That was the revenge that happens after he does the freeze. So now we're going to go ahead and attack. Hopefully get a 3 hit. It's down to 6. Hopefully get a multi-hit here. That's 2 plus 1. Now, we're going to actually cycle here. We could lose it. No, we go. There we go. So we're pretty fine. We would have overshot that shield by a long way. And now we should survive this and keep going. But like I said, I find it to be a little bit better attacking the left crystal. But like I said, I'm trying to speed it up a little bit because it just feels a bit too slow otherwise. So we'll see how this goes. I'll do a bit more testing, but this is the core team that I found works. Now, as for replacements, because I think replacements are something we should really talk about. So replacement units. I think if you have a Lu Yi and replace my Lin with a Lu Yi, you're like, I think with my exact relics, let's see if we got anything. Nothing. Okay, let's just stop that. So I think with my exact relics, if I had a Lu Yi in the place of Lin, we would be completely set. Now, if I was using Lu Yi, I would definitely attack the left crystal first. So I'll show you why that is. So if we go over here into Lu Yi, I have not pulled him on either of my accounts. If I pull him on my main account, I'll definitely test this free-to-play team out with Lu Yi because he's just an absolute beast. So his basic attack hits 3 times. This one attacks 9 random enemies. Now, if he works the same as Chloe's random attacks, the first attack always hits the target you're targeting. So if you kill the left crystal first, you're no longer worried about staying alive and healing and stuff like that. And what that allows us to do is we can have this ability, which is 9 random hits. On average, you should be hitting 4 to 5 times on the boss when he uses this. So here's the only unit in the game, I think, that is a reliable multi-hitter with every attack that he does. And that makes him a beast. And you could even do him as a fast, tanky build with not much damage, depending on, where you're at in progression. And that way, he will never get frozen or shouldn't get frozen due to the fact that he's not dealing much damage. And then, your Tang Yun should be the one getting frozen. And that means he's always here to break that shield. So there's those different ways to look at it. And with him, when you look at odds on with this ability, if there's only 2 enemies, 9, at bad, and when the first one's guaranteed to hit, you should be getting at least 3 to 4 every time you do this. And then this one, when he does this ability, he's going to be doing 3, plus you're getting the 1 extra from Hal. So it's a pretty solid comp. Now, I would love to build him for damage as well and have 2 damage dealers. But yeah, if you were struggling and he kept getting frozen and the rest of your team didn't have what it takes to break the shields, you could put him on a fast tanky build and test that out. Like I said, left crystal. Try the left crystal if you're struggling. I think it's a really decent option. The other replacement for Lynn. Now, I'm using Lynn literally because I max skilled her because I didn't have rare skilling mon. I only had epic skilling mon, so she was easy for me to skill up. But another replacement would be Zelma, because Zelma here has 2 attacks on the basic and 3 on the second. Now, the ideal way to do a Zelma for this would be to have her max skilled on her second, but not her third. Reason being, the max skill on her second brings this down to 2 turns. If this one isn't max skilled, the final skill up of this gives you a cooldown reduction. Ideally, you want this to be at a 5-turn cooldown, so she uses it less often. So if you get lucky on skill ups and max out skill 2 before skill 3, that would be optimal for her, because then, you know, every second turn you're going to be hitting for 3 hits, and then every turn besides that you're going to be hitting for 2, and then the unlucky time when this is off of cooldown, you will be hitting for 1. But those are the 2 main replacements that I would look at. Now, if you have both the twins can definitely be a thing. I think long main could be definitely a good option because he can AoE slow the other towers, which means slow if you do manage to get a strip or something on the boss. You can actually land some of those debuffs, whether it's a speed debuff or something like that. It would take different compositions using long main, but like I think he would be a really nice one because he does also bring the speed lead, which is vital. Now, like I said, I did try Melanie. I just couldn't get her to work. Maybe it's probably my relics and stuff like that. She does have the 15% speed lead. I'd be really curious to see in the future if we get a 3-star that has a speed lead for dungeons to see if they would be viable. But yeah, it's just, you're really looking for multi-hits and you really want wind units, because wind units are fantastic in that they can avoid the stun and slow more often. But that's basically all I wanted to show you guys. Something like Clara as well is an absolute beast at this. You got the cleansers. Who else is a beast? While we're looking at it, more luxury units here. But Catherine's going to remove debuffs every turn, plus her basic is a double hit. So really nice on that one. So those are some units to keep an eye out for. But like I said, the team core that I'm using for free to play, my relics are like at the entry level attempting this. If I had more speed, if I had like, you know, 20% more speed on all my units, I'd be pretty set. But like I said, when I put the Medusa in to get that 15% speed, it just left the team lacking, because if I dropped Gabriel, I'd lose the mitigation, I'd lose that immunity, and I'd get slowed and stunned more often. And if I dropped like Lynn for the Medusa, then I wouldn't be getting the amount of hits that I need to break the shield. So the ideal team for me, if you have a Lu Yi for a free-to-play player and you have no other luxury units, would be just these first 4 plus Lu Yi, and I feel like that would be really successful. Obviously, you need to be really fast. My relics are pretty fast. Like, this is 111 on Ocean Waves. I also really think Gab on Ocean Waves is like the best thing, so you can have a higher uptime of that immunity. Now, keeping in mind, you might not need Gab. You might be able to use another immunity unit with a lower cooldown on the immunity if you have like 6-star units with maxed out relics and good relics, because they won't need the defense buff for that survivability. But for me at the moment, I really need that defense buff to survive. And you know, the damage dealers, I still think Tang Yun, the problem with Tang Yun on a slow build, which is what I was using, is that if he's slow and then you get the RNG where he doesn't break the boss's health and get frozen and someone else does, then him being slow is going to cripple your team and stop you from actually breaking the boss's shield, given the RNG of what abilities everyone uses. So I think fast is still best on him. Obviously, you want him better relics than me, but also I do like this the witchcraft set, just to, you know, try and mitigate some of the losses that happen if a unit gets stunned. Hal, absolute beast. I wasn't even trying him at the start. Once I figured out that, you know, if someone attacks the boss and gets frozen, he will do his revenge after the shield comes up. So it's like you get an instant 1 tick off of the boss's shield every time the boss procs it. It's absolutely amazing. And then he just keeps doing it. like I said, keep in mind the fact that if Tang Yun actually breaks the health bar with a pursuit, Hal will actually revenge and get frozen instead. There is no logic behind this boss. And then obviously, you know, Bernice, we got plus 101. I would love to have her much faster as well. And same with Lynn, I would love to have her much, much faster. So honestly, I feel like with the team that I'm testing right now, if I can get my 2 damage dealers to like plus 1 to 110, I think we'll be a lot more successful because then we'll be more reliable at breaking the shield no matter which one of these 2 actually gets to have a turn and get frozen. So that's where we're at. A lot of people have been asking. That's the most reliable I've found it. Just keep that in mind when you're looking at teams for this. It's really hard to build a reliable team. So try and gauge how reliable a team is when you're building it before you go into running it. And if you're going to invest into units, just and someone's telling you to build units for it and shows you a screenshot that it works, just try and gauge the success rate. For me, this is a pretty safe build because you're only using level 50 units and Tang Yun at level 60, but I think Tang Yun's going to be really good in guild battles anyway, so I think he's not a bad unit to upgrade. But you know what, you could probably actually test this with him at level 60 at level 50 anyway and get a gauge for whether your relics are at the point where you can actually go ahead and do it. But anyway guys, that is it for Fafnir. Sorry I rambled a bit at the end. Thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day and I look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.